Howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this another brand new day. Hokey smokes. Well, it's been a heck of a time. So let me start off first with the Shelton, Washington weather plague rat and spider report. I didn't go out walkies last night, so I can't really tell you too much about all that. I didn't go. I was just too depressed, which is one of the things I'm going to talk about. Yay. So I didn't go walkies, and I just stayed in, and I'm like I said, I'm mega depressed, and I'm also super tired. And I'll explain about that too. Oh boy. But first off, let's see. Which one do I want to go first into? I'm going to go first into the tiredness. Because 1:30 this morning, I went to bed around 9:30ish. I was in bed trying to get to sleep. I fell asleep pretty quickly. And then 1:30, woke up. Bladder full. There was no way I was going to be able to stay in bed even another half hour, let alone 4 or 5 hours with a full bladder like that. So I had to get up, and I drained my bladder and then came back to bed and lay down. The very second that I got horizontal, my feet started going and pulling downward as my calves went, you know what, let's cramp. They didn't cramp, but every muscle was just going, okay, we're ready. We are ready. Just give us the word and we'll finish. So I'm trying to keep my feet upward because otherwise they're just going to keep going down until my calves do cramp up. And so I'm continuously fighting and pulling them upward. That muscle on my right inner thigh that cramps up all the time, it too is getting in on the fun. And it's not cramping, just like my calves aren't cramped, but are 9/10 and another 9/10 of that last tenth on the way there. The muscle in my thigh was just going, you know what? I think I'm going to start pulling tight too. And so I'm laying there, just pushing at the muscle in my thigh, trying to get it relaxed. And after finally 2:30, I'm wide awake. My arm is killing me because I have to keep pushing into my thigh. I can't go on to either side. I've been up since 1:30. I was wide awake at 2:30 because I could not sleep because I had to concentrate on keeping my calves from cramping, and I had to keep driving fingers into that thigh muscle to keep it from cramping. I have no ideas what is going on. I take potassium supplements. I don't take enough potassium, but I eat food with potassium in it. I take magnesium tablets. It is not too much of any of these things. It is not too little because I take supplements for this. I have no ideas why my legs cramp up. And it's driving me nuts because it is specifically my calves and that muscle in my right thigh. I have no ideas, no clue. It's just awful. So yeah, I'm running on 3 hours of sleep. And of course, here's where we come up on the depressing thing. I have talked in the past about how as I've gotten older, it's gotten a little bit harder to get up after each time I get slammed into by a freight train. And the light at the end of the tunnel is always another freight train. It takes time, but I've always gotten back up slowly, brushed off the dirt and the dust, smeared the blood off, and kept on walking. Now, like I say, it's gotten harder each time I get knocked down because I'm getting older. I got fewer resources to rally. Yesterday, before I went walkies, I checked my checking account. I'd been counting on the $30 there to try and last me as much as it could toward the end of the month, buying sodas and such like that. I'm like minus $50 in my account. There's another rolling thing that, because of my ADHD, I couldn't take care of before, came through. I had like $32. It was 36. That took me like $3 negative. So they hit me with the $28 negative fee. Yeah, so I'm like minus $40 in my checking account, which means I have dried spaghetti and spaghetti sauce down in my pantry. If I don't eat a lot, it might last close to the end of the month. And I do have some dehydrated potato stuff, so if I eat not much, it should last. And that'll be fine because I've got quarantine weight that I need to shed. This is my last soda because I have no money. That's my last cola. But even at that, I have a big water pitcher that I drink from that was given to me by a subscriber, sent to me, and thank you very, very much. It's been quite some time, but it's got the activated charcoal filter. And even when I don't have that, I still have this with its little filter in it too. So I've got stuff to drink. So I've got food, I've got drink. It's just, I didn't expect that freight train. It came into me in darkness, and well, normally it takes time, and I get up, and usually a very moderately short period of time, I'm up and walking again. This one, that broke me last night. Like I said, I didn't even go walkies. I couldn't. I was just so frickin' depressed over this. And I'm having troubles now. Mentally, physically, I'm fine. I've got no issues. And in fact, I want to talk about that too. Mentally, I am still on all fours in the wreckage. I haven't even started getting up yet. And that's, of course, kind of concerning. But, there we are. So, I'm still animated. Only I sure don't feel like I'm smiling. And a lot. And if I am, it's more of a, boy, I can't believe I'm still alive sort of smile, because I feel like I've put on my heavy suit again, and I weigh an extra 200 pounds. I'm wearing a heavy suit. I'm actually debating calling off my therapy session today, because I know what the problem is. Yay. Well, let's see. What else do I have on my list? Actually, this is one that I have been talking about a few places, and I might have even mentioned it before. I've mentioned how I really like slasher flicks from like the 80s and some. And even the other, not so much the same type, but also more horror films as we went on through time all the way up until today. But the movies now are different. We don't have the kind of slasher flicks that we had back in the 80s. And part of it, of course, was cultural. One of the things that those films was really pushing, because they were, kind of in lockstep in a way, even though they were like slaughtering people on screen, practical and special effects, for entertainment, they were still trying to push an agenda. And it was a big abstinence only thing, because if you go back and you watch those movies now, anybody that is having anything but prudish fun dies. And the only reason the gal at the end lives is because she maintains her sexual purity. So, yeah, skip that part. That part is hideous. But we don't have that, but people still like these movies with a lot of blood and violence and people being killed horribly. So, if I had money, if I had people that would pay attention to me, if I had the ability to make a series of movies, I want to have a series of movies called Murdering Naked Young People Violently and Painfully. And that's just, number one. And that's just what you call them. It's like number two, number three. And the point is you just gather up a bunch of young people, not teenagers, because that's creepy. It's like 19 to 26. They're all friends in that general age. And then you just get them into situations where the plot is just a contrivance to get them from situation to situation where we can murder more of them. So you start off in the first movie with like 7, 8 kids, and I say kids because at 58, good Lord. But the 19 to 26-year-olds, and you just start slaughtering them until there's just one left. Now, to go against the whole sexual purity thing, because some people find nudity vulnerable, other people find it empowering. What I want is, whether it's a guy or a gal or whatever, it is a person that is not made vulnerable by being nude or naked. Because in most cultures around the world, developed cultures, especially American culture, nakedness equals vulnerability. So yeah, in the movie, you got to strip naked so that you got that feeling of vulnerability. Or if not completely naked, because it's going to be an R-rated thing, not X or anything. So you got to keep bits covered or such like that. So, running around in underwear, something like that. But still, they're running around with, moderately unclothed for that feeling of vulnerability, except for the person who does survive, who finds nudity empowering. Because there are those people, it's like you take the clothes off, they're in charge now. They're in charge. Now they're confident. Now they're in their territory. So that's the kind of person that makes it through. No inappropriateness, just nudity is empowering. There are people like that, and it's a good thing. But it's just contrivances to get them from place to place and kill them all. Of course, the other part is, people like watching stuff like that, so have half-naked people running around. I mean, why not? And then it's just, we kill them horribly. Special effects, of course, but still, I think that would be a good series of movies. Murdering naked young people, violently and horribly, number 1. I think it'd work. I think it'd be great. I'd watch it. I love those old flicks. They're great. Past that, now that I got my video here demonetized, so I'm going to have to go through and hopefully remember to edit this stuff. There's a lot of things I mean to do in my editing that I don't. ADD/ADHD. Since my therapist still just says ADD, and I read it online as ADD, and other people say ADHD, and so I know it's supposed to be ADHD with the inattentive form, but it's just easier to not. So hopefully I'll remember to get some of it done. That would be cool. Past that, though, joy. I'm depressed as stated, but I've been trying to watch videos. I've been trying to play games. I've actually done some better. That's good English. I have actually done better on some games lately. I played for the channel this game called Nightmare Reaper. It's actually about this young woman who's in a sanitarium. And every night when she goes to sleep, well, I say night, but it's you lay down in your bed and you wake up in your nightmares. And then you battle it out there with all sorts of weaponry and all sorts of hideous things. And then when you perish, you wake up in the sanitarium. So you go back to bed so you can start over again. And I've made it up into the next section, and there's more. And so it's really good. They've done a very, very good job. The graphics continue to get better because they've always been pixel art. And even though you're running around in a 3-dimensional area with no corners, it's all very 90-degree, 1990s Doom type architecture. Trying to remember where I was on that one. But, you're doing all this, and it's like pixel art, but it's 3D, and they're using sprites, not polygons. And so it looks really cool. But it's also kind of like 1920 by 1080 with still Doom graphics. So even though the character runs up to you and it's a sprite, it doesn't get better graphics, it gets larger pixels. So it looks cool, but it's interesting. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm going to read the comments later on, but thank you for having left a comment. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker, and even though I count American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand with my depression. So, let me call up my Chrome, and we have Water, thumbs up and thank you. Tommy Nelson, greatly appreciated. We have Violet K, thumbs up and thank you. There's CSN, thumbs up, and Sienna 5444, thumbs up and thank you. Perks, greatly appreciated. Charity Backer, thumbs up. We have Savage Shinobi 23, thumbs up, and Clout, greatly appreciated. Confused Owl 29, thumbs up and thank you. There's Brooke Jones, thumbs up. There has hard to read with my glasses. Philippe Lakomsky, thumbs up and thank you much. Bella Chavez, greatly appreciated. Sky Hudson, thumbs up. Gary Hooker, very unpleasant individual. There's Lance Richmond, thumbs up and thank you. Olivia Morell, greatly appreciated. Sandra Ortiz, thumbs up. There's Nick Russo, greatly appreciated. Glad to have you. Madison Bridges, thumbs up. We have Darby Sunna, thumbs up and thank you. Blux, thumbs up and thank you much. Heck of a name. Concentrated, greatly appreciated. Russell Pinelli, thumbs up and thank you. And last but not least, Freddy _26. A lot more comments this time than I have gotten in the past, so I got to about half of them. Thank you each and every person that I was able to thank, and all of those that I couldn't and just don't have time. Thank you all so very much. It is greatly appreciated to get me out of my head and into the world dealing with real people, and that is a very, very good thing. If you could check out my various links down below, I have Twitter, Facebook, Patreon.com. If you could become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money through the patronage, I have a PayPal link down below. If you'd like to help me out without sending money, I have an Amazon wishlist link as well. If you could check that out, that would be cool. Now, do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled, and if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. Thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I got from my existence, a definite thumbs up. And of course, if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very, very cool. A definite thumbs up. Well, good golly, Miss Molly, a little bit shorter this time, but that's okay, because I still have to say, the lobster hat-wearing duck-head of judgment suffers from a surplus of scorn. Please do not disappoint the lobster hat-wearing duck-head of judgment. It is ready, not eager, but ready to cast that scorn on any and all whom it finds disappointing. Do not disappoint the lobster hat-wearing duck-head of judgment. It suffers from a surplus of scorn. And of course, Black Lives Matter, damn it. And justice for everybody. The jackbooted, brown-shirted fascist thugs keep brutalizing and murdering in their homes and on American streets. Wear a mask, wash your face, wash your hands, try not to touch your face, practice social isolation, practice your social distancing. Practice self-care. This is hard times right now. Hard, but we have to make it through it first. You cannot rebuild your home until the storm is over. We are in survival mode. Practice self-care. So, I got this video that you've been watching. I got another video I need to record, edit, and render. I got to push through the depression to get that done. Boy, I mean, I said I'm wearing a heavy suit. It's at least, I weigh 400 pounds right now, probably more. So, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend, and that is a very good thing. And no fear, I'm getting back up out of the wreckage. I mean, it'll be just in time to get mowed down again by the next train that comes down, but that's okay, that's life. It's just right now a little bit harder than normal.